Hi guys, it's Chris. Not in my cider shed, in my kitchen, once again, because my arm's still in the sling. Can't go down the garden, easier to do it in here, it's warmer, it's horrible outside. Only problem is I've been cooking in here, so I can smell the food, which smells delicious, but that might affect what I can smell when I smell the cider. So be it, so be it. Excuse me. So what we got today? Something completely new to me. A cider from Luxembourg. A cider from Luxembourg. Ramborn cider. There you go. Sorry, hiding it with my hand. Farmhouse dry cider. Interesting, huh? So these guys are using a traditional, getting trees from sourcing locally in Luxembourg, traditional orchards, apples that weren't being used, cider apples by all accounts, which I've never heard of. So yeah, let's see what it says on the back. A lightly sparkling, very dry cider with a distinctive, refreshing sharpness. A tribute to the cider or Vies, made in this region for centuries. It features 3 local apple varieties: Erbachhofer, Holzapfel, and Weissenapfel. So, they're all apples, never heard of them, looked them up, nothing. Found out nothing about them, nothing. So don't have to go by another name elsewhere, or whether they actually are indigenous to Luxembourg, and that's it, which would be amazing if that's the case. But yeah, what is the ABV? 6.5. So solid, so one, let's assume it's just fermented straight to dry, hasn't been back sweetened, said it was dry. Farmhouse dry cider, that's it. That's it. So don't any back these apples. It says it's got some sharpness to it, so it seems there's some sharpness to it. But let's see how they what they add in terms of tannin and stuff like that, because that's what sets out a traditional cider apple in Britain. Is that it's the sharpness, but the tannins are the main thing, really. Texture as well, it's easy to press, they're more fibrous, but it's the tannin that really sets it apart. Let's open this sucker up and try it. Really looking forward to this. So once again, I'm going to do it on my lap because I can't. You get it. You get it. Okay. It's open. Also got a dinosaur there. Yeah. Always need one there. So let's pour this out. Slightly sparkling. It does seem like it's very slightly sparkling. I can't hold it up to show you while I'm pouring it. I will in a sec. So quite light in colour. Quite light in colour, which suggests to me, based on what we discussed yesterday actually in the tasting that I did, about how cider apples are higher in tannin, and it's tannin that turns brown. Polyphenols react with the oxygen and turns brown. So more tannin apples will have more colour. Less tannic apples, i.e. dessert apples, culinary apples, will have less colour because of less tannin. This is, I mean, it's just, I'd say it's just heading over in amber. It's quite a nice gold, just on the edge of very pale amber, just on the edge. So yeah, let's assume there's some tannin in this. That's how we're getting the colour. Let's give it a swirl. Let's give it a sniff. I put too much in. I can't swirl it very well. Let's sniff it, shall we? Oh, quite almost like a dessert. Like a, hang on. Nice smell, very aromatic, quite perfumey, I would say. It's quite a perfumey apple smell, that. Almost smells like a very dessert-like, but almost like a icing sugar kind of dessert, that kind of thing. And quite high, quite lots of perfuminess to it. Smells like it's going to be sweet, even though it's going to be dry. So it's going to be interesting. Because on the nose you think, sweet, bang on sweet. Let's see. Okay. So, bone dry, the merest hint of tannin. I think there is some there. The flavour is very much of like a non-sweet culinary apple, but it's very pleasant actually. It's very appley. It sounds weird to say that, but it's really appley. Like a lovely dry red, not acid though. Imagine like a red apple with very little sugar. That's kind of what it's making me think of. Low in tannin. It has got some acidity. It's not bursting with acidity like say some of the sort of traditional West Country ciders, which are boldly acid, almost make you think they're acetic. Some of those. It hasn't got that, but it has got an acidity, and I think it's. Minerality, there's acidity, It's not brutal. It feels like a very, very, very gentle malic acidity is what it feels like to me on the palate. That it doesn't feel lactic. It's got that apple fruitiness, but it's not aggressive like a Granny Smith or something like that, or a cooking apple. It's edging towards that, but it's got a roundness to it as well, a richness. It's actually pretty good. This, it feels more like edging towards more commercial in terms of the flavour profile. But I know that it isn't based on what they're saying, and it's got something in there. It's got an apple character in there. It's got a genuine apple character in there, which I find actually really good. I assume there's no concentrate at all in this. In fact, I know there isn't because it says there isn't. So it's almost like if a commercial cider is made from pure apple juice. This is kind of what you'd expect. It sounds derogatory. I don't think it's got wild yeast in it. I don't know if they're using wild yeast or not. It didn't say. It doesn't feel that wild in terms of the yeast, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. They just kept it in like plastic/steel. It's very clean. I mean, that happens. We talk about how clean the Secret Orchard is. That's wild yeast. But yeah, but there's no funk to it whatsoever. And this has no funk to it whatsoever. It's just an absolute bold red apple statement. This dry red apple statement, and actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I feel like the Fenny Castle with their really delicate sparkle have spoiled me a bit lately because I've been really enjoying that. This has got a bit more sparkle to it. I feel like in about 15 minutes, when it's just lost some of its CO2, I'll like it more. I'm just getting a bit sensitive to sparkle these days, I think, just because I've had such delicate stuff that now I've seen what's possible. I want more of the same. But having said that, it's not brutal. It's not as fizzy as, say, the Newton Court was. Yeah, I would suggest if you see a bottle of this, get it and try it. Because I first think, it's kind of a bog standard cider, but there's something there. There is just a layer of complexity there, which makes you think it's making my synapses fire. That's always a good sign. And I've gone back and back in order to think about that. Cool. Sorry, I'm a bit today. It's kind of tough with this. I can't do a lot. I'm in pain a lot of the time. It is getting a lot better, however. So just by the end of the day, it's the evening now, because I don't want to drink in the day. That's not going to happen. I'm kind of a bit worn out. I was working at 5:30 this morning because I couldn't sleep. So yeah, so it's been a full day for me. It was full, in terms of long. Not a lot has happened, but I got to go out for the first time. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Look, guys, thank you for joining me. I still have more stuff to try. I'm going to keep on trying it. And I'm going to try and do a film every day, actually, in the evening. Yeah, because it's something to look forward to for me. And that's nice at the moment. It's good to have goals. Right, guys, thank you. I will see you again very soon, I hope. But until then, cheers.